Hi everyone, how is it going? Hope you're doing fine. Welcome to this new lesson. Today I'm going to present comparative of equality and inequality, which is going to be a grammar lesson from the first sequence of the fourth year English program. I used to post lesson plans on different columns and I explain to you in details. I know novice teachers won't be able to interpret the lesson plan, even if it's explicit, but they find difficulties interpreting the content of a lesson plan because it contains many keywords and new items. So I have decided to make it more explicit and show you how to proceed in a grammar lesson step by step. Before I start, I'd like to mention the objective of my lesson, which is very important. So by the end of this lesson, my pupils will be able to describe and compare landmarks and monuments using comparatives of equality and inequality. And here I have a remark. It is not inferiority, it's equality. Sarah is as short as Sabrina. Here they are the same, so there is no superiority and there is no inferiority. But if you say Sarah is not as short as Sabrina, here they are not the same. And I know that in the sentence Sarah is taller than Sabrina or Sabrina is shorter than Sarah, I know that there is superiority and inferiority in the sentence. The most important thing is that we say that they are not the same. This is the objective of inequality. If we say is not as, so we want to show our pupils that they are not the same. We don't focus on who is taller than who or who is shorter than who. I know that we have in the sentence inferiority and superiority, but inferiority, keep it for less than, and inequality, not as, adjective as. So, from the very beginning, you have 45 minutes or 1 hour. When you enter the class, you're going to greet your pupils. If your pupils are just active and they move a lot, or they are tired or something like that, you are going to wait for them till they calm down and don't shout, just have to be calm. And you're going to wait for them till they bring their school things, and they're going to be concentrated with you so that you can start your lesson. Then you can say good morning or good, and you're going to ask them to write the date of today. Of course, if they have an activity which is going to be corrected or homework, you check it before you ask them to write the date. Then you're going to greet them, of course. After greeting and after writing the date, you're going to play a game. Warm up, you just have to do whatever you want. Just ask them to perform some body movements or play a game. Here, for my case, I'm going to show you this game. I just forgot the name of the game. Here, I wrote on the board a monument, a famous monument they have already dealt with, which is the Tower Bridge. Here I'm going to, for example, if I have 3 rows, I'm going to ask each row to give me a letter in order to complete my monument, okay, the name of the monument. The row that gives me the biggest number of correct letters is going to win, and of course you're going to reward them with places or with sweets or candies or whatever you want. So this is the game. Then I move to preparation. Of course, my lesson is going to follow a PPU approach. It means preparation, presentation, and use. Don't forget the first P, which stands for preparation. Here, I invite 2 pupils having the same height and 2 others having different height to come to the board, and I ask questions, right? So, do Karim and Rashid look the same? What is the difference? Do they have the same height? And what about Marwa and Maria? So here I'm going to elicit from my pupils to make them deduce the topic or the title or the name of my lesson, and I'm going to elicit from them in order to see their background knowledge of this lesson, and of course this is going to pave the way to the presentation phase. Then, after preparation, you're going to move to presentation. After you compare, you're going to write on the board. Rashid is as tall as Karim. Marwa is not as tall as Maria. So here you start by writing these 2 examples separately. You highlight the target item, the adjective and as, and you're going to write equality as a title and inequality as another title. Here, you're going to interact with your pupils. Identify the verb, noun, adjectives in the sentences. What does the first sentence express? Where do we place as? How many as do we have in the sentence? Where do we put the adjective? What about the second sentence? Here, you're going to interact with your pupils in order to elicit from them and in order to make them deduce the title of the lesson. So here, after that, you're going to let them guess the title. So today's lesson is about comparatives of equality and inequality. Then you're going to move to practice. Here, since you have 45 minutes, I advise you to do the activities on handouts. So the first activity, I'm going to use the book, so task 1, page 36. The first activity is form-based. It means you're going to focus on the form. And the second activity is going to be a meaning-based. It means your pupils have to understand in order to the activity. Here, I ask them to rewrite the sentences so that they get the same meaning. Here, I may give the first sentence as an example because this seems to be like hard. And they're going to do the other sentences. Then I'm going to present the rule with gaps. Here it's very important to present the rule after doing two activities because it's easy. So then I move to the phase of use. Here my pupils are going to rely on themselves to write sentences. Use comparatives of equality and inequality to compare the items in the box. Here I gave them some items. The sky, the snow, the gold, the grass, the ice, the elephant, the beetroot, the paper, and the blood. And I have given them the adjectives, okay, expensive, green, red, white, light, blue, cold, and big. Here, of course, are going to guide them because this is going to be hard for them. So you just have to guide them. For example, you say, gold is not as expensive as silver. Or the elephant is not as big as the whale. Or the whale is not as big as the elephant. Example, the blood is not as red as the beetroot. Here I'm going to give them examples in order to make it clear for them. Then, concerning what do they have to write on their copybooks, if you present the activities on handouts, so you just have to give them time to do each activity separately. So you do the activity, you give them time to do the activity, then you correct it, and then you move to another activity. Working on handouts is much better. Now, if you don't want to work with handouts, you're going to write the activities on the board. Don't write them at once. You write the first activity and the second activity. You do the first activity, you correct it. The second activity, you correct it. You erase, and you move to rule. You do the rule, you make them fill in the gaps. You explain it to your pupils. Then you erase the rule, and then you move to the last activity. My dear followers, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share.